A broken letter in the Torah, in the most important word that you can ever think of, is the subject of our talk today. Shabbat Shalom. In this week's Parsha, Parshat Pinchas, there is a word in the Torah in which one of the letters has to be written broken. That word is Shalom, and the Vav has to be broken. And it's a strange thing when you look in the Torah and you see this little Vav, which is normally straight with a little bit of a head on the top, is broken. And our rabbis say this letter, this Vav in this word Shalom, has to be there. It has to be broken. And it is the only place where such a letter exists in the Torah. What's it all about? In our Parsha, Pinchas, the son of Elazar, the son of Aaron HaKohen, does an action that saves the Jewish people from a terrible plight. The prince of Shimon had rebelled against Moses. Pinchas spears them and is able to restore calm in the camp. And our rabbis look at this event and say, what's going on over there? This was an act of violence. How can you call this an act of peace? To which our rabbis describe and explain as follows. That ask the question, how do you actually achieve peace? Is peace all about compromise, giving in, and being the nice one? Well, we know that sometimes that works, but sometimes it doesn't. Everyone has the famous scene of the Prime Minister of England arriving back, holding up a sheet of paper, saying, I have achieved peace in our time. That peace led to the Second World War, the greatest war and greatest destruction of humanity the world had ever experienced. And then there are times where the opposite happens, where through an act of violence, peace is able to be achieved. There are times where you can read through the history books where it is because a strong army has taken on its enemies, that the enemies realize that there is no other solution but to sue for peace, as happened in the case of Israel and Egypt. It was only when they realized that Israel was too strong were they able to make the peace treaties of 1979. So what creates peace? Compromise and giving in, or showing of strength and force? And the answer is found in the first few letters, first few words of our parasha. Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. Aaron the Kohen was known for his love of every single person. The Mishnah describes him as the Ohev Shalom v'Rodev Shalom. He would chase after people in order to try and bring them together, to make peace between the warring factions. And then there was Pinchas, who through his act of violence brings the peace. And therefore, says the Torah, understanding what is Shalom, how to achieve peace, is complicated. And there are times that we're going to have to break that Vav. What is a Vav? A Vav is a connector letter. Anytime you look in Hebrew and you have two verbs, you put a Vav between the words to indicate a connection between the actions. Vav literally means a hook or a connector. And sometimes, says the Torah, in order to achieve the peace, we might have to break the Vav, break the connector to forge a new reality, because the current system just does not work. There's a need for a Pinchas and there's a need for an Aaron. And what does the Torah say? As long as the Pinchas, his actions is l'shem shamayim, for the benefit of God, and he's there to ultimately achieve peace, then he gets the blessing of the priesthood, as we find in our parasha. Peace is complicated. There's the Aaron method, there's the Pinchas method, but ultimately, what we all pray for is peace. Shabbat Shalom. Hi, this is Rabbi Lewin. If you've enjoyed the content of the sermons and the ideas that have been expressed in the YouTube video, please hit that first subscription button and notification bell, and share the videos with friends. We'd love to grow the channel and love to engage with you. Please share your comments in the section below. I'd love to hear from you. Have an amazing day.